We'll see. Here is 4th Street.
There it is, the king of spade.
Just what he asked for.
So here we go. Danny Fuse out in front right now with the kings, but his opponent has a flush draw. A queen would win it for him as well.
WPT Global is your destination for big Sunday tournaments. You'll find tournament buy-ins at all levels and huge guarantees. Head over to WPTglobal.com and use bonus code YT35, and your first $110 Sunday Slam ticket is free.
Well, there you see Danny Fuse well out in front with $5.3 million in chips. The winner tonight taking home over $1 million and getting their name engraved on the WPT Champions Cup.
All right, as we start tonight here, $10,000 are the antes, the blinds are 30 and 60,000. Action on David Fong. He's going to fold that hand. And now on Jesse Yaginuma.
Well, Jesse's a poker pro. Plays a lot of his poker right here at the Commerce Casino on a daily basis.
He's folded the hand, and now our chip leader, Danny Fuse, with a pair of 8s.
Got a real hand on the button here. Going to raise it up to $125,000.
Into the online expert, made a lot of money online playing poker. This is Paul Volpe we're talking about. He's got ace-10.
He's also a very aggressive player.
He's re-raised, Mike.
3 bets, a lot of hands, and he's doing it right here with the ace-10.
Paul Klann out, back on Danny.
Started with like 2.3.
Now look at this. On the side of Paul and Danny's cards are chip stack indicators, and they illustrate each player's chip position. So in this case, Paul Volpe, who started out this final table as our chip leader, could be in peril.
Well, tough decision here with the mid-pair.
Whoa.
Well, not too tough for Danny Fuse. He moves all in over the top, and that's going to put a lot of pressure on Paul Volpe right here because he's fearful he could be dominated with this hand, meaning his opponent could have ace-king, ace-queen. He's only got ace-10. Now, if Danny Fuse turned his hand face up, Paul Volpe would make the call here because he'd be getting the price to call in a race situation, but doesn't know what Danny has. Gets out of the pot and chalk that one up to a nice all-in bet by Danny Fuse.
Yeah, beautifully done by the 40-year-old from San Diego. Danny Fuse, things going his way right now.
Well, there's the Royal Flush Girls Social Bar. And if you're a Club WPT VIP member, you receive preferred seating. You can come meet Vince and I, Kimberly, Tony Dunst, the Royal Flush Girls, at all our televised live events. So sign up now to become a Club WPT VIP member.
All right, back to this hand. A couple folds around to Paul Klann, who's got ace-9.
Paul's a Canadian, the lone amateur at the table.
He's just going to call this. Now David Fong in the big blind is content to see a flop. David's just got a jack-8. Here we go with a flop. King 8-6, 8s for David Fong. Nothing for Paul Klann.
We've seen Paul play a little unorthodox at this final table so far, where he's played some kings. Here he didn't raise out of the small blind with the ace-9. Now he's going to lead out and bet on the flop, but David not buying it. He says if a guy had a king, wouldn't he have raised before the flop? And now his jack comes off. This gives David Fong 2 pair. His opponent drawing dead.
Yeah, opponent has nothing. Paul Klann is an owner of a disaster restoration company in Canada.
This hand's going to be a disaster for all the money he puts in the pot from here on because he cannot win it.
330. Got to give him A for effort, though.
Because of the dynamics of the board, Vince. 2 flush draws, possible straight draws out there. No way you're just going to call with 2 pair in this spot. You're definitely going to raise it. It's just a matter of how much. Wow, all in by David Fong.
What do we got left?
I mean, that was a $300,000 bet with a $1.7 million raise.
Now Paul Klann says, how much more you got? And that is just a
This is
fluff
just a
and puff
waste
show.
of time is what it is. 0 chance he's calling here.
He's trying to save face a little bit, like he had a hand. Finally, Paul does the right thing, mucks his hand. David Fong, in his first WPT event ever, will take down a nice pot.
And he got in this tournament by winning a satellite, Vince, meaning he could really make a big parlay out of that satellite win.
Winner's going to take home over $1 million. Action on David Fong from San Jose, California. Quick fold by him. Now the local pro, Jesse Yaginuma, also going to fold. Chip leader Danny going out.
So it's the battle of the blinds here. Paul Volpe, very tough young player. Ace-6 of hearts. He's certainly going to raise with that. Makes it 180,000 to go.
And now the Canadian, Paul Klann. Let's take a look at Paul's cards. King, Queen.
Well, pretty good hand in the big blind here. He knows this aggressive player he's up against could have any two cards and raise out of the small blind, so he is certainly going to play. Makes the call. And flop 3, 4, 5 with 2 spades. Gives Paul an open-end straight draw. He's going to check. Surprised by that check. Look at this. The amateur from Canada is taking the bait here. And he is just going to try to bet his way into victory here.
You got to respect that. 225 into Volpe. Volpe, known as one of the greatest online players in the world today. He goes all in.
Wow. An incredible check raised by Paul Volpe here. There's no way Paul Klann can call here with king high, obviously. So we just picked him off like a cherry on a tree, Vince. Had he let out and bet, the guy probably would have just folded. As it was, he chops out another 225,000.
Yep, but it is going to work. Paul Klann has to lay that down.
So a nice check raise all-in bet right there by Paul Volpe to take down that pot. And Vince, he's climbing back into this thing. He came to the final table as chip leader, went down to 6th place, and now he's battling his way back up where he's got a few chips to fight with here.
All right, back to the table we go. Jesse Yaginuma, the LA local. This time a 9 deuce. Says no mas. Danny Fuse with a queen jack of diamonds.
And he's a high-stakes pro player, has been for about 17 years. He's going to raise it here, makes it 160,000 to go.
Paul Volpe and Paul Klann both go out. And now David Fong with a queen jack. And he is going to invest.
Well, both players have a queen jack. See what happens.
And the flop comes up. Oh, wow. Can you believe it? Queen jack 5.
Well, it's come queen jack 5, and I can't believe this will be anything but a split pot. I don't see either player going out. I don't care what comes up on the board.
David Fong checked. Danny Fuse's bet 205. And Fong just gonna call.
Doesn't raise.
Here comes the turn card. There's 2 hearts out there, and a 3rd heart hits the board. 6 of hearts.
Not the card either player wanted to see, Vince. I can promise you that.
Yeah, they both check. Down to the river we go. And a nothing card, 7 of clubs.
Well, David now going to lead out and bet. And why wouldn't you with the top 2 pair? 500,000. I don't see Danny Fuse going anywhere. Your opponent has to have a flush to beat you.
Oh. Yeah, he makes the call.
Well, Danny has made the call.
And they're both going to be disappointed.
Yeah, it's going to be a split pot.
Yep. You think it's a big opportunity. You flop 2 pair, top 2 pair. You wind up splitting the pot. They both look a little angry about it, but nevertheless, David Fong is going to smile. None from Danny. Well, come on. Let's see the smile.
On the flop, it doesn't matter.
Okay. You don't lose, but you don't win. Okay, and now the antes are going up to 15,000. Blinds are 50 and 100,000. Action goes to Danny Fuse, the chip leader, the very bold player from San Diego. He's got ace-8 this time, but he's going to muck that. Paul Volpe out. Paul Klann going to take a breather.
I'm all in.
And look at this. David Fong with king jack has gone all in. But right behind him, Jesse with an ace-8 of spades.
Wow. It's right, one of those marginal hands, what to do.
He's calling it.
He's made the call, and what a call it is. Borderline situation. He makes the tough call with it, and he is in good shape to double up here.
Jesse Yaginuma with his buddies in the stands, including Shannon Shore, WPT final tableist.
Well, that's a very nice call here by Jesse. I don't know how the hand's going to come out for him, but He put his tournament life on the line, went with his gut instinct. His ace high was the best hand. It is. Let's see if it holds up. So far, so good for Jesse as it comes 7 high. Gives Jesse a straight draw, but all he's worrying about now is dodging a king or a jack.
All right, going to the turn. It is a queen. So ace-8 still out in front.
Jesse in great shape to double up right here. All he's got to do is dodge a king or a jack on the river.
That's right, but if a king or a jack hits, you have to say goodnight to Jesse. So that would be a disaster. Just a deuce of clubs on the river. So Jesse Yaginuma, the local here from the Commerce Casino, 27 years old, gonna win a good one.
WPT Global is your destination for big Sunday tournaments. You'll find tournament buy-ins at all levels and huge guarantees. Head over to WPTglobal.com and use bonus code YT35, and your first $110 Sunday Slam ticket is free.
Right now, David Fong with a quick fold, Jesse also out. And now it's on our chip leader, Danny Fuse, with ace-9.
And he's going to raise it up here, makes it 200,000 to go.
Paul Volpe not going to play. Now it's on Paul Klann. Oh, look at this. He's got the Klann hand again, the pair of kings. Incredible.
And he's had those a lot tonight. Played them unusual several times. And add this one to the list here. He just limps in and calls out of the big blind, Vince.
Gonna play it sneaky again. Let's see if it pays off for Paul Klann. Flop comes up 7-3, deuce, all spades.
Well, action is on, Paul. He doesn't have a spade. He's going to check here.
Yeah, Danny not getting any of that, and he's going to check as well behind him. No continuation bet. Here comes the turn.
Now the board pairs threes.
And now Paul's saying, this guy didn't bet. I better bet this.
I'm going to bet the 2 kings now.
Sure. 250.
Vince, you're just not going to put your opponent on a deuce or a 3, a guy that calls before the flop.
Danny's got a spade there.
He didn't re-raise you before the flop. You can't put him on this big pair because he didn't raise before the flop.
10 of hearts on the river. No help for Danny Fuse. Paul Klann from Canada out in front with his kings. And he's going to make a solid bet of 550.
Danny trying to put the piece of this puzzle together, but it's hard to do. You're never going to put your opponent on a big pair because he didn't raise before the flop.
I call.
Oh boy, he's made this call. He's making a contribution.
Well, he's hoping that Paul's got something like King Jack or Queen Jack.
Incorrect.
But he is wrong here. But you can't fault his instincts the way the hand was played.
And there is Paul Klann's very pretty wife, loving this moment here tonight.
If you're a player, that's where you want your name.
All right, back to the felt, a couple folds, around to the chip leader. Danny Fuse from San Diego, he's got an 8-5 of hearts. He's got the button, he's got chips, and he's got a raise. Makes it 200,000 to go. Paul Volpe going away, but Mr. Klann has a pair of 4s.
Well, he's not going anywhere, makes the call with him.
So Danny versus Klann again, 8-5, pair of 4s, here we go.
The flop comes 9-5-3, good flop for Danny. He is now out in front with the 2 5s. But Paul is going to lead out and bet here. And of course, you're sitting in Danny's seat. You're fearful your opponent made a pair of 9s on the flop. Danny going to make the call, though. 7 of hearts comes off a great card for Danny Fuse because it gives him a straight flush draw now to go along with his 2 5s. But look at this. Paul Klann betting yet again. Now you really don't think your 2 5s are the best hand, Vince. You're pretty sure your opponent's got 2 9s when he fires a second shell.
But Danny's going to call for 350 down to the river, a queen of spades. Doesn't help either player.
Well, Paul Klann has bet on the flop and turn, got called twice, so do you shut it down here with 2 4s? Yes, he does. Danny's going to check right behind him and he's going to love it when his opponent turns up 2 4s because he's going to win the pot with 2 5s.
You talk about playing slop and making it work for you. That's exactly what Danny Fuse made happen there. Our chip leader extends the chip leader. And there's Sean Buchanan.
Yeah, WPT champion in the house, rooting for Danny. A lot of guys would like to see Danny Fuse win this, especially all the high stakes players, because they know if Danny wins, the money will be in action.
All right, back to this hand. Jesse folding in a big hand here for Danny Fuse again. Ace King. He makes it 200,000 to go. Volpe out. Paul Klann has a nothing hand. He goes away, and the only one to beat is David Fong, who picks up the queens. What a time to get him.
Well, Vince, he's on the short stack here. Just can't imagine you're not going to just shove with this hand. You're not going to find a better one, probably.
David Fong in his first ever WPT event. He goes all in like he should, and a quick call by Danny Fuse.
Well, the classic race, the ace king versus two queens, comes up quite a bit if you play tournament poker. You got to win races to win tournaments. Let's see who's going to win this one.
David Fong with the queens.
Got in this tournament by winning a $1,000 satellite. He could parlay that in to over $1 million if he wins this tournament. But he's got to win this hand to do it. He's a slight favorite to do it with the two queens. But the way Danny Fuse is running right now, I would like to be racing against him.
The flop is at 8-4 deuce. Very good for David Fong.
Please, just a queen. End it there.
David says, put up a queen. Let's end it.
Ace or king of spades for a sweat.
And Danny says, how about the ace or king of spade for a sweat?
We will see. Here is 4th Street.
There it is, the king of spade.
Just what he asked for.
So here we go. Danny Fuse out in front right now with the kings, but his opponent has a flush draw. A queen would win it for him as well. So still a lot of outs for David Fong. Can he catch a spade or a queen?
David, one card away from elimination here at the Commerce. River card coming up. Poker Destiny on the line here for Mr. Fong.
It's a 5 of hearts. So Danny Fuse getting lucky on the turn to catch the king. And Vince, Danny Fuse has eliminated both players from this table so far.
Wow, David Fong out in 5th place, 236,000 richer. He's over to talk to Matt Savage.
David, a final table in your first ever WPT event. Tell us about your week.
It's, I mean, it was fun. I got lucky, and now I got unlucky, so.
Well, you got in for a satellite, 236,000, not too bad for a week. And the next stop is in your hometown, and mine too.
Yep.
San Jose, the Bay 1-1 Shooting Star. You gonna be there?
Yep.
All right, we'll see you there.
All right.
Back to you.
WPT Global is your destination for big Sunday tournaments. You'll find tournament buy-ins at all levels and huge guarantees. Head over to WPTglobal.com and use bonus code YT35, and your first $110 Sunday Slam ticket is free.
What an opportunity for Danny Fuse from San Diego. Big-time cash player. He's out in front with 7.2 million in chips. And look at this. I can't believe it. Danny Fuse picks up another gigantic hand. Pair of kings. Makes it 225 to go.
Wow, Vince, he's going to be saying, call me butter. I'm on a roll right now. Danny Fuse is dabbing it here.
Volpe out. And now Paul Klann, though, with an ace-3 of hearts. Looks stubborn. He's got to re-raise. Makes it 450 to go.
Wow.
And back on our chip leader,
How much are
Danny
you playing, Paul?
Fuse.
2, 3.
Got kings
about
in a
4?
four-handed poker game. You got a guy raising you. Oh, sip that coffee. Enjoy the moment.
And he just calls. He is slow playing the two kings here. Going to try to trap the amateur, but could be a daring play. Let's see if it works out. Well, it's come Jack 4-3.
Well, so far so good there for Danny Fuse.
He's going to check the kings here. Paul's got bottom pair, but look at this, Vince. He checks it. Wow. It's like he knows Danny doing something sneaky, and the ace comes off now. And again, Danny checks, and the slow play pre-flop. Vince may have cost Danny Fuse this pot. Let's see how much money it's going to cost him now.
Just a great slowdown for Paul Klann. Now Paul's going to bet the aces, of course, like he should. 550. And this is a frustrating moment there for Fuse.
Well, if you're Danny Fuse right now, you're a sick puppy. He tried to get cute with this hand.
Yeah.
His opponent checked on the flop. Had he bet on the flop, Danny would have raised him big.
And he's going to fold it.
Well, he's going to make the call with two kings.
Oh, boy.
Well, a bit on the stubborn side here. Now 6 comes off.
Klann with aces and 3s.
Well, check again, he says.
Comes the value bet.
Yeah. Wow. Well, sometimes you can be guilty of the fancy play syndrome.
Guy's not human. Can't beat him.
Danny Fuse mumbling to himself.
Well, he's really going to mumble the way he played this pot when he sees it.
Well, it was good until the turn.
Well, the question is, can he save the 850 here on the river? He paid him off on the turn. He does give it up on the river, gives him credit for having him beat.
Volpe guy was just a machine.
Well, Danny says he's a machine, but Danny got a little cute with that hand.
You're a tough cookie, Paul. Tough cookie.
Wow. What a turn of events right there for Danny Fuse.
Winner's going to take home over $1 million here tonight at the Commerce. Action on Jesse, and guess who gets the queens this time? Jesse Yaginuma.
Well, he's on the short stack here with 4 left.
Well, he has made it 200,000 to go. Danny, though, with ace-king this time.
1 point. Let's see.
Pretty incredible. Chip leader Danny.
Wow. You're going to 3-bet with this hand for sure, and he's doing it.
Yep, he does. He re-raises. Paul Volpe out. Paul Klann not going to play. Back on Jesse.
Well, then she just can't expect to get a better hand than 2 queens, so when you're on the short stack here, I think you just got to ship it.
Oh.
Well, that's exactly what the local's going to do. He puts it all in, and a quick call by Danny Fuse, of course.
Wow, incredible. Again, it's 2 queens versus ace-king. The last time a guy had 2 queens against ace-king was David Fong. He got broke with him. Jesse looking to double up with him. Wow. Everybody on their feet again. The classic race situation. Vince's hands are coming up now that nobody can get away from. It's just a matter who gets lucky to win the races.
Both of them look excited. Big moment here at the Commerce Casino.
Well, it's certainly big for Jesse because his tournament life is on the line.
All right, here come the first 3. It's a jack 6-3. Nice for the queens. Last time Danny Fuse begged that a king come up on the turn, and he got it. Knocked out David Fong from San Jose. Could he possibly do it again? Here's the turn.
7 on the turn. We are down to the river. Danny Fuse must catch an ace or a king to eliminate Jesse Yaginuma from this tournament. Jesse just got to dodge an ace or a king to double up and vault way up on the leaderboard. Well, it's a 4. So the queens stand up here. Jesse doubles up, and David Fong at the bar says, why couldn't my queen stand up?
Wow. Well, we are seeing everything tonight. We are seeing more big hands than a basketball team at the nail salon.